this exciting day, what I think is a landmark day for Western Technical College. In 2007, President Roche signed the President's Climate Commitment, making a promise to this region that we would work towards a more sustainable organization. And every building since that time has had a really dual purpose. I mean, of course, we had to have just a very functional and outstanding learning space. That's a given. We have to do that. But we also had to make a commitment, and we did make a commitment to high standards of sustainability in our building construction. 5 years ago, our cost per square foot for electricity and gas was $1.08. This last closing year in July, our numbers came in at 75 cents. So welcome to the newest building here, the Integrated Technology Center. The Integrated Technology Center is such an appropriate name. It is all about a culmination of great learning spaces, technology, and collaborative work environments for all of our teachers and our students. The Integrated Technology Center was designed for student success. It was also designed to exceed the points needed for LEED Platinum status. That is the highest level of commitment, in my view, by our president, by this college, by this board, and by this community. What a beautiful journey to move Western forward to support manufacturing, building systems, our STEM, our engineering fields, and of course our agriculture.
Roger, and I guess, would you be surprised for me to say I'm proud? Vision 2020 plan that Roger spoke of is really the driving force behind many of the things that you're seeing now, the transformation of Western Technical College. And it was a plan that was actually approved by the district board in June of 2010. And its focus is trying to build a college that has the adaptability, the responsibility, and the flexibility to meet the needs of 2020. And I'm very proud of this facility here. The Integrated Technology Center is the centerpiece of the Vision 2020 plan. You know, it was no small accomplishment to build this facility on top of the old Applied Tech two-story structure. In fact, that building was once built in 1974 as a one-story structure for two programs of welding and wood tech. And fortunately, the organization had the foresight at that time to build a structure that had the foundation and the capability to go up and out. And so you have this building is built on top of and surrounding the bones of the structure that was built in 1974. By the Vision 2020 facilities plan, taking on renovations of existing structures, it was very complicated and challenging. It meant we had to find temporary locations for many programs. At one point, we had 6 different temporary locations throughout the community. And because these were huge structures, they didn't happen overnight. You know, we are talking about several years of planning. But here's the benefit. We've made a huge investment in existing structures and created 21st century model facilities. And because we redid our own facilities, we literally saved about $17 million in the process. And if you look at the workforce between the age of 18 and 65, you can see that there's a large number of people on this 65 range that are going into retirement. And if you just look at the numbers, you can see that in many parts of this state, in many parts of the region that Western serves, there are going to be fewer people in the working years. And so it means we have to do some very specific strategic things to make that difference. It means we have to get young people thinking about skilled careers, and we need to reach them earlier. And there are some outstanding elements in this facility that are going to allow us to do that, expanding high school academies, particularly high school academies in STEM areas so that we can get young people pursuing these careers. And there's good data to back up that if we do that, their success rate will increase. Their success rate in college will increase if we do that. And many employers in manufacturing, building systems, and building trades are concerned that they can't get the young next generation to think about those careers. Well, I'm proud to say that the new student enrollment in the programs in this facility for this fall is up 22%. 22%. And so if you think you can't get people to think about these careers, if you put the facilities, the programs, the industry partners, and a comprehensive approach to reach out to people, we've demonstrated that we can. I do want to talk about something that is also related to the impact. You know, we've had some wonderful industry partners that have already come on board. These partnerships are so vital to this Vision 2020 concept. Western can't do it alone without real industry partners.
My name is Cole Bowick. I work with Ashley Furniture Industries, and I'm very glad to be here today and working with the partnership with Western Technical College. Ashley is one of the largest employers in the area, and we have always, Ashley and the Wannick family have always been strong supporters of education, because education is our future, and we see a need for that, and we're very excited to be working hand in hand with this college here to give the tools necessary needed for our students for a higher education. So thank you very much for having us here today.
Well, I appreciate the recognition and the partnership. A few thoughts. Garland Power is a cooperative that serves all the way from Bayfield on the north to Galena on the south, so we have a big service territory, but the heart of our service territory is certainly La Crosse, Genoa, Alma. This is the heart of our operations, and as a cooperative, in October we're celebrating Co-op Month, and two of our key cooperative principles are support for education and concern for community. And so we think the programs that Western offers are things that we should be supporting as being a cooperative in that community.
Thank you very much for the recognition. We're very proud to be a partner of Western. It's a fantastic institution, amazing facilities, great vision for the future, wonderful programs, and great curriculums. And we couldn't be more proud to be a part of it and look forward to continuing to strengthen and grow it going forward.
Chad Jewell really should be here. Chad was the one who was involved in the assistance in the refrigeration program. But I am privileged to represent Quick Trip in this. We want to thank Lee and Dennis. And as Lee mentioned earlier over at the center, the seed money that we put in for whether it was the diesel, the trucks, is only an investment. We are looking forward to graduates, as was mentioned earlier, coming to work at Quick Trip. You know, your vision of Quick Trip might be what? Cokes and smokes, gas and hot dogs? Right? We're way more than that. You know, and if you talk to Tom Colbert, our head of IT, we have a hard time finding kids to say, Quick Trip, you serious? And for career, we look forward to the partnerships, the internships, and the relationships that we can have from the graduates coming forward.
Regarding the Center of Excellence, I just have to commend Lee and his team, all the people involved in that. I can tell you, Patty, that it is one of the best that we have in the country. I hope you've seen it or will get to see it. It's functional. So the curriculum, what students will learn is terrific, and it'll just prepare them and give them a great head start to come work for us or for other people. But also, if you notice, it represents where HVAC, where energy services is today. It's high tech, just like a lot of your businesses here. And so when a student comes through or their parents come through and get to see this, they're going to realize it's not their father's HVAC, and it might be someplace where they can make a living and a life. So we're very proud of that as well. So one favor to ask of you, Lee, is please send your people to us. We need them. So anyway, we're looking for a long-term relationship, or a continued relationship, I really should say, having an impact in the community, and you know, sky's the limit, really.
The old saying goes, many hands make for light work. I was very, very fortunate to be on this project, to have a project team that was truly committed to the success of this project. Just a shout out to a couple of those individuals. The actual construction management and supervision of that was Carl Anderson and JCI, Sean Larcher, Pete Johnson, and Andy Johnson. On the design side, we had HSR, Doug Ramsey, Dan Bloomer. From interior designs, Lou Ideology, Lou Kagan. From the actual electrical engineering, we had Pat Popwich from Galileo Engineering. And from our lead consultant and from our exterior site work was RDG Ryan Peterson. So we're very fortunate to have a design team that was truly committed to that. Not only were they committed, we had contractors, several prime contractors who made sure of the success of this project. We had 3 major primes on this project. One was Father and Hammer here from La Crosse. We had Mark & Johnson to do the work on the exterior in the parking lot, and the interior work was completed by Weezer Brothers here also in La Crescent. So one thing that we yielded as a facility, we actually have a teaching tool, a world-class teaching tool as a facility, and the sustainable elements that went into it. As Lee noted, we are one of a handful of schools or a handful of facilities in the state of Wisconsin that actually have LEED Platinum. We're the only one that has the mechanical system or intensity that you'll find in this facility. So, and what made that possible was many of the systems we have, many technological and advanced systems that allow us to get not only the 80 points required for platinum, but it got us to 87. A couple sustainable elements that make it truly a world-class teaching institution are some of the elements you may see outside of the facility. Actually, in this parking lot you're standing in, there's over 140 vertical wells that support a geothermal system. The photovoltaic panels that you see behind you produce over 50 kilowatts of power on a good day. We actually have up the panels you see up there on the side of the facility. Those are actually designed to actually increase the air going into the building upwards from 10 to 20 degrees to help with the heating of the facility. Likewise, we have a 15,000 gallon tank in ground for reclamation of water that can be used for irrigation or gray water use inside the facility. And likewise, the brick that you see, that brick and the wall system that we have designed here, or that's been designed, the brick itself is actually made out of fly ash from a coal-powered plant, and the actual thermal or the efficiency of the wall is literally the double what you'd find on a normal 12-inch block wall. A couple of features on the inside that really set us apart too, that makes us a world-class teaching institution that's visible to our students, is you look at the mechanical systems. When we went in and began the design, we actually set up the mechanical systems and engineered them such that we are designed to use 69% less gas, 44% electricity, and an overall demand of 25% less than the normal facility. In order to achieve that, we had to buy better mechanicals, and that was about a $450,000 investment. That investment was recognized by Focus on Energy, and they granted us back $100,000. That increase or that upcharge or investment in our infrastructure yielded in a 2.6-year payback on the energy savings that we achieved. A couple other things about the inside or the facility that makes it world-class is you look at the dust collection system. We move a lot of air in this building, and typically when you move that much air, that air is exhausted and that energy that's used to heat or treat that air is lost. We actually reclaim that air, cycle it back inside the facility so all the air is recirculated and not exhausted and wasted. Likewise, we have all LED lights throughout the building, and one other feature about the system and the mechanical system, the way it's designed, this building is so efficient that we can actually heat and cool at the same time. We actually can extract the heat out of cooling and use that same heat for heating, literally actually having a net zero balance of energy consumption. So again, we're looking at a facility that's designed for long term, designed to be efficient, and also all designed to help facilitate our students in their world-class education.
When you look at a facility this size and what it took to make it happen, there's a whole lot of people that were responsible for that. So I want to start off real quickly. For those of you that know me, I don't take notes. I do everything off the cuff. And I actually prepared some notes for this because I want to make sure I get it right. First of all, look at our businesses and our community members, the support of Western in general in 2012 and through the present day here to move projects like this forward. That was really instrumental. Without that, this certainly would not have been possible. Our faculty and our staff for your patience and your assistance and the design details, the recurring meetings when you thought something was done and you had to talk about it 10 more times to make sure it was actually right. That takes time and patience. We appreciate that. All of our students then that were involved in the process through input and through being put out at times and put in different locations, we just appreciate the patience and the willingness to accept that this was for a really great thing in the end. Our senior leadership team for the vision of 2020, our board members in the district for really committing themselves to quality education throughout our district. And last but not least, touching on what Jay mentioned, the contractors and their employees that actually built the structure. What's really cool about that when I look at that is when we saw people on a daily basis a lot of them were Western grads. So they came here, they got their education, they got some experience, they went out into the workforce, and they come back here and they build our building for us years later. I mean, that's really what this is about, is closing that loop from the beginning point to being really productive in the community and giving back. So thank you to all those individuals right off the bat. I'm always asked about the facility and to talk about the highlights, and it's not just the facility though, it's really what's happening inside the facility, and I think that's why we're really here today. It's about the academics that are taking place within that facility. They're world class, the faculty are world class that do that. To give you an idea of the scale, Roger mentioned some career clusters, but floor by floor, the programs that we have in here, we have our wood tech program, we have CNC program, we have our welding program. That is first floor along with building science and energy management. You go up to second floor, there's our HVAC program, our ag program, and our landscape program. You go up to the third floor, and it really expands from there. Because you start in the corner, you have architectural design, you have mechanical design, you have electrical and computer engineering technology, electrical engineering technology, biomedical electronics, industrial electronic maintenance, manufacturing systems maintenance technician, electromechanical, physics on an interim basis, and then all the support classes that make those happen. That's a lot of programs under one roof. That's what really makes us so unique. All these programs are located by what they're like. So the career clusters are organized by like programs. So you can share equipment, you can collaborate, and it creates a better experience for the students overall. That's what this project allowed us to do. To give faculty a chance to mingle in one area, to share ideas, to have the same common break room, and really learn about each other's program, that's really something that we got out of this particular project, beyond a beautiful facility. We're trying to take a facility, as Jay mentioned, from something that takes resources to something that gives back. So make a facility instead of a place that is a showcase facility to look at, to really say that this is actually a functional learning opportunity for us as well. So
when I started at Western, it was spring of 2015, and the first class I had was at the old Coleman Center. And being a student of architecture, I promise I'm not going to say anything bad about a building that was built before my grandparents were born. But it was a little dated. So starting in the fall, we headed over to a rented space as this building was being built. Occasionally, we would talk about it, and once the weather warmed up, we would come over here and we'd use it as a learning tool, an opportunity to talk about the things that we were studying in our program. It was great to be able to use the building as real-life examples. Our summer classes began in the Integrated Technology Building. My program is located on the third floor with views overlooking the downtown area. The best part of summer would be making my way through the entrance of the building, heading up the stairs to the classroom, pulling the shades, and grabbing the binoculars to get a good view of what was going on with the new construction at the Coleman Center or at the Bell Square downtown. Were they doing a slump test for concrete at the Coleman Center? Were they fireproofing the steel beams at Bell Square? Were they tuck pointing the masonry at the Coleman Center? Usually these questions would be answered by a walk over to investigate what was going on and how it was being done. These instances are examples of the learning opportunities which are readily available to us on a daily basis because of the access this building provides for us. The best part of this building, as told by an architectural student, is one, the variety of materials used on the exterior and the interior of the building, the large windows, which provide probably the best views in the area. I'm not lying. They really do. Our class is up there on the third floor. You have to go in there. You'll have to check it out. It really is. The visible electrical and plumbing in different places throughout the building. The green roof and green wall give us a taste of the possibilities of design. And being in a modern building makes for a more positive learning environment. And lastly, a building like this, one behind me, can stand empty and still be brilliant. But once we start filling it in with great staff, faculty, and administration who are so knowledgeable, encouraging, and supportive to the student body, the building shines.
Okay, ready? 1, 2,